everyone! Welcome back from the holidays! Team Stonehearth took some time to rest, reconnect with our families, and play the games that inspired us, and now we're back in the saddle and ready to spend 2017 making our game amazing. Since it's the start of a brand new year, let's take a moment to reiterate our long-term goals. Real life can be super messy and chaotic. Stonehearth is a fantasy town-building ant farm game where you can step away from all of that and pioneer a living world that inspires warmth, creativity, and storytelling. So, we just finished 2016. How did this last year help us toward this goal? Well, first and most obviously, we spent 2016 building a ton of new features to make the game more interesting, more challenging, and more complex. We started with a bunch of new combat classes: the Knight, the Herbalist, the Cleric, and of course the very epic Archer. To support these classes, we added new combat gameplay, including ranged combat, kiting, safety points, updates to the weapons and armor systems, and combat parties. To challenge our heroes, we wrote a whole bunch of new monster encounters like the Necromancer, the Varanus, the Ogre Door Breakers, and enemy clerics. We finished up the Goblin campaign, introduced the Orcs of the Red Kiln, and buffed them all to heck with hard mode. After spending some time on combat, we then dramatically improved building. Most buildings now finish, and to do this we had to invent a bunch of dependency AI technology that, to our knowledge, nobody has ever accomplished before. Also, we have a new stair tool, buildings can be destroyed in a fancy explosion, and we have fixed landscape scarring. Finally, we touched very lightly on game progression. Our artists made beautiful things, templates and fountains and Tier 2 quests for Rise Children and the Ascendancy. And of course, save compatibility. Throughout the course of the year, we kept the game up to date so that you can load saves from even early in 2016 into late in 2016. This has been a huge effort for all of us, but we think it's been totally worth it after seeing your multi-alpha towns. So those are the highlights for features. What about our long-term projects? In August of last year, I did an update where I mentioned that the game was at something of a tipping point, and that in order to continue to add meaningful content, we would have to take time to invest significantly in a few key areas: core game design, performance, and addressing long-outstanding artistic, aesthetic, and tech questions. These would be long-term projects that would happen in parallel with feature development. We realized that if we did not take more time to invest in these areas, new features would just make the game buggier, slower, visually jankier, and unsatisfying gameplay-wise. To that end, we hired a full-time lead game designer whose work you will start to see in Alpha 20, and who will help us focus on our core game loop in 2017. We also made huge constant strides in performance, moving the number of Hearthlings the world can conveniently accommodate up from 15 to as many as 30. Performance is a moving target, however, and we will continue to invest in it as we add more things. Finally, for artistic explorations, Ali did some paintings of the edge of the world, interspersed with making models for the game, and there will be lots more of this to come in 2017. Lastly, for 2016, I should call out that this year saw Team Radiant get acquired by Riot, which has been fantastic for our ability to grow our team with specialists across multiple areas. Riot has actively helped us add 9 people to Team Stonehearth: a lead designer, a part-time UX designer, a full-time animator, a full-time lead artist, a full-time QA engineer, 2 summer interns, both of whom are returning next summer, one of them as a full-time, and at the very end of the year, 2 experienced engineers, one who started in December and one who will start in February. This is a huge influx for a small team like ours, and we are very grateful to Richard, Nikki, Mally, Ali, Anna, Winnie, Morgan, Justin, and soon Angelo for giving our game their professional dedication and commitment. Though we also said goodbye to Yang and Doug, and though Tom and Tony have transitioned by necessity to take higher-level responsibilities on our team, we think that the Stonehearth team going into 2017 is as strong and committed as ever, and we hope you will see this in our output as everybody slowly learns to work well together. In summary, 2016 was a really great year that set us up perfectly in terms of team and long-term projects for all the things we still need to do to make Stonehearth a satisfying, complete experience. These things break down into 3 major categories. First of all, a really solid game loop that allows our content to build on itself so that the total is greater than the sum of its parts. It should provide smooth and challenging progression, make the game even more impossible to put down, and allow for a deeper, broader experience that challenges you based on how you choose to play, enhancing customization and replayability. We also want to be sure your experience has meaning, that each system you explore has a clear purpose and a reason for existence. After that, we need the game to have a satisfying conclusion. The game as it stands right now has no endgame content because the endgame content is best when it is a test of your mastery of existing systems. To get there, we need to overhaul the existing systems as mentioned above. Finally, we need to understand multiplayer. We've designed the technical elements of the game to allow for multiplayer, but we've never really deeply investigated what it would look like from a gameplay point of view. If we just threw 2 people into the existing game, the experience would be a disaster. None of the challenges would scale, there's no trading mechanics, the performance would be a nightmare, so there's a lot more thinking that we need to do here. Items 2 and 3 cannot happen without Item 1, a solid game loop, so for 2017 we will focus on revising and expanding existing systems so that they create a virtuous deep loop of optimization, customization, breadth, and depth. To get this started off, we've chosen to revise Hearthling Happiness into a unified system that will serve as the basis for introducing an ever-expanding level of complexity and meaning into the game. For example, early-game Hearthlings may encourage you to build them shelter, or make them food, or keep them safe. Mid-game Hearthlings may want more complex things like aesthetics or human interaction. Our goal is to make sure that you have a strong reason to invest in each system, adding significance to yours and your Hearthlings' experiences. The system should also encourage multiple possible optimizations based on how you desire to play: economy, food, combat prowess, etc. It will allow us to add new systems like mechanics around crampedness or darkness. Going deeper into 2017, I would also expect us to revisit other major systems like the in-game economy and the primary classes and their relationships. We should also spend time on our simulation, on water, for example, and on building. And of course, we will continue to work on our long-term projects: performance, better error reporting, future-proofing our work by making our code patterns more robust, artistic exploration, and investigating multiplayer and planning out the endgame. By starting 2017 with a focus on core systems, we will unlock our ability to complete the game as a whole, and ensure that when we finally do get to the Northern Alliance, or Glaciers, or Weather, or Festivals, or Geomancer, or Magmasmith, that they will significantly enhance the gameplay, instead of feeling bolted on like a palette swap of an existing class. So now that I've laid out our very general plan for the year, what happens next? First of all, keep an eye out for upcoming milestones. As the year progresses, and as our planning coalesces, we will get you some milestones for the roadmap and updates to the main site and to the Trello. We're currently in the midst of 2017 planning, with details only spelled out so far for Hearthling Happiness, and some updated combat mechanics and Hearthling traits. More coming soon. Second, there will be a new stream schedule. Our goal with our streams has always been to show you our development process and incorporate your feedback into our work live. Over the last 6 months, however, we've noticed that our effectiveness at this has decreased. More and more of our projects are cross-functional and require multiple people to implement, so scheduling stream-friendly chunks of work has gotten difficult. At the same time, we'd like more of our team's domain specialists to get a chance to know and work with all of you, but we don't want everyone on the team to be constantly scrambling to put together work that isn't easy to chunk. To that end, we're changing our streams in 2017 to feature 6 developers across each area of the product: engineering, art, and design, and choosing to feature just one each week on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. PST. That way, each volunteer streamer will have time to bring you work that is representative of their discipline, which should improve both the content and impact of each stream. These streams started last Thursday on 1/5/2017 and will continue this Thursday on 1/12. We hope to see you all there. For those of you in Europe, we haven't forgotten you. We will continue to do Wednesday 8:30 a.m. streams as well, but we'll reduce them in number from weekly to quarterly and change the focus so that they're more about you than about us. Before we get to content creation, we'll start each of one of these with a brief update as to where we are with the game, and then go straight to a feedback session so we can be sure to capture all of your thoughts and suggestions. The target dates for these streams are currently Wednesday, February 8th, Wednesday, May 10th, Wednesday, August 9th, and Wednesday, November 8th. We'll post the schedule and any updates on the website. Lastly, I want to reiterate again that our whole team feels incredibly privileged to be making this game together with all of you. Your feedback on the game, and all of the mods and the art that you add to and create about it, all the cities that you build and share, are the #1 reason we come to work every day and work so hard deep into every night. It's why we work as transparently as we can, and why we here are so excited to release each build to you, even if it's on the unstable branch and buggy as all heck. So if you're ever curious as to why we're doing what we're doing, or about how you can add something of your own to Stonehearth, please just pop into the comments and ask us, or onto our forums on discourse.stonehearth.net. Thank you for being with us through 2016, and I look forward to sharing all of 2017 with you as well. This video is already super long, so I've added some popular questions below in text. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Jack, please reconsider. This is suicide.
We've come too far to surrender now.
Optimizing settings for Dimension Drive Teleporter.
You're going down.
Ew. Die! Die! Jack, look out!
Ah! Whoa!
You know, I can teach you how to actually look before you teleport.
Where's the fun in that?
Just look. See the purple glow?
Boom! I got this.
And you just look before you leap. Huh, not bad.
I'm feeling this, Vera. For what those Ashigals did to my parents and our world, we're gonna make them pay. Shield. That one's for my parents. That one's for Bane's people.
And that one's just because I wanted to try shooting somebody. Whee! We're gonna need a co-pilot. This is a bit brutal.